Hello, hello, my beautiful community. We are live. I'm hoping that everything is okay, that you can see me and you can hear me okay. So excited for our conversation. You've asked for it. My community has been asking for more trainings for women who are already in relationships. And I'm really excited because I do have these conversations with my private clients all the time. And it is something that behind the scenes I work a lot with. But because a lot of women, when they come to work with me, at least in the past, they were single, so they ended up being in marriages that really was based on the teachings that I've taught them. So when it comes to relationship maintenance and stuff like this, it's the stuff that there is, the foundation has been really, really great, so they already know a lot of this stuff. But as my audience is growing, as more and more people are joining our my container and know me as not just a dating coach, but as somebody that helps women to really be able to have it all, and no matter where they're in life, whether they are single or they have been married for a long time, then it is such a pleasure for me. If you could let me know that you can hear and see me okay, for those of you who are here live with me, that would be so helpful, super, super helpful. So if you could let me know that in the chat, I would so appreciate it. The chat is for subscribers only. So if you haven't subscribed, I know you might not be able to chat with me. So I suggest that you do if you want to. We can keep this interactive and keep it going. So can everyone hear me, see me okay? Hopefully subscribers. And today we're going to be, yay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, my love. I can always count on you. So today we're going to be talking about 5 elements, 5 things that when it comes to being in a committed relationship that you want to activate, you want to pay attention to if your relationship is not all that incredible or as incredible as you want it to be. Now, I want to make a few notes about this topic that I'm going to give you. And it's really important because these conversations are, like I said, I have it behind the scenes. It's not given to a huge, large audience, but it is something that, I can have a lot of one-on-one conversation with, so I can be sure of it. But because this is going to a bigger community, I want to make a few disclaimers and for you to obviously use them as guidelines if it feels good to you, and if not, then disregard. But the number one thing that I want to tell you is that the information that I'm giving you on this particular live stream, it is best for women who are in a committed relationship. And when I say a committed relationship, I do not mean boyfriend girlfriend relationship. And you might want to kill me. You might want to, chop my head off when I say that. But the truth of the matter is that when it comes to a commitment, unless a boyfriend girlfriend relationship is ultimately what you want and you actually don't want to get married and this is what you agreed upon and that feels good to you, then sure. But if you want to get married, if you want to get engaged and you want to get married, it's really important that you understand that what I'm giving here is for someone who's already wife or already engaged to be wife. And the reason that it would not be really wise to implement everything that I'm saying in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship is because you can misuse it to perform an audition for the position of wife. So that the commitment hasn't been made yet. He hasn't decided to make you his forever woman. He hasn't decided that he wants to spend the rest of his life with you. And here you are giving him all the benefits of somebody that is like a wife to him. And that what tends to happen in that case is that actually it works the exact opposite the way that you want it to work. It goes exactly the complete the direction that you don't want, because now he is getting all the glory of what it feels like to be in a loving, committed relationship with a wife, when he has only asked you to be his girlfriend for right now. So that is my suggestion for you. Of course, you're welcome to listen to all of this, no matter whether you're single or you are in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship. But I just want to empower you that learn this information and then use it accordingly when you are wife, or you can actually avoid mistakes that we might be talking about in your future beautiful relationship. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing that I wanted to tell you is that these apply. What we're talking about here is not actually for, if you're in a relationship, let me put it this way, that there is any form of abuse present to it, whether it is physical, emotional, whatever kind of abuse that there is, this is not it. This is not for it. And I really want to again emphasize that be careful. Be careful when you use your own wisdom. Again, like when I'm working with someone on a one-on-one basis, I can I'm asking a lot of questions, and I can tell if there is something that is deeper behind of why the romance is not gone. But if you are unsafe in a relationship in any shape or form, if you are in a relationship with a narcissist, or if you're in a relationship with someone that is abusive, then these stuff are not going to work on them. They're still really great for you to know, but just please be mindful of that. And if you need any help, if you are in a situation that you don't know if you're in an abusive relationship or not, by all means, please message me. And you put it in your like a top of the line that this is with regards of, I want to know whether or not this is a relationship that is healthy or not, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so the last thing I want to say, there is a really exciting and limited, very, very limited opportunity that I'm going to be talking about somewhere in the middle of this conversation. So I hope that you stick and you listen to the whole thing. And I'm so super, super excited about it. I'm so, so looking forward to it. I can't wait for it. Okay. So we are here today to talk about having that attention and love that you've always wanted in your relationship to either come back, or if you have never really had that in your marriage, if you've never really been, your relationship seems to be okay, seems to be all right, but it's not mind blowing, it's not life giving, you don't feel so good and excited about it, then it is something that we want to talk about and see how you can bring it forward. Because if you are in a relationship with a man, if you're married to a man that is a decent man, and it is someone that loves you and decided to be with you, he just doesn't, the way that he loves you doesn't necessarily feel like all that great. It doesn't fulfill your needs, it doesn't feel like you are in a relationship that is thriving and it's growing, then that's totally okay. This is going to be really life changing for you, and it had been for me and a lot of my clients. So today we're going to talk about what can you do to activate your goddess energy, that juicy energy within you, so that drawing him towards you becomes effortless. That when you are anchored in that wise energy that is grounded and it's radiant at the same time, that you are in your power within yourself, and you feel like it just keeps coming at you. His love, his affection, his protection, his provision, it all is coming to you. And we're going to be talking about this in such a way that I'm gonna really make you understand. And when I say goddess energy, I don't mean you have like, floral dress running in the fields with, butterflies and unicorns and through to the rainbow. I don't mean that, although that's beautiful and that's great. When I say goddess, your goddess energy, it is the differentiation between the woman in you and that little girl that we all carry within us. We can use I'm going to use the word little girl inside, our inner child, and wounded feminine interchangeably. So when I say that, that's what I mean. When we are talking about that little girl inside, is that the part of us that is, for the lack of a better word, it's immature, and it is operating from the age of 0 to 7 most of the time, and sometimes a rebellious teenager. And it's that part of us that when it came to her needs, in her childhood, one way or the other, they may have not been met. She may have made things mean about herself that weren't the actual truth, or it could have been the truth. So if you have been experiencing as a little girl any inconsistency in your relationship with your parents, or you have been in a situation that, the father figure, you didn't feel all that safe to be yourself around, meaning that you couldn't talk, you couldn't speak your truth, or that you were in a situation that you were only praised when you performed and you were a good little girl, and then love was withdrawn from you when you weren't acting the way that it was approved of. That's that part of us. And this part of us, every person on this earth, including men and women, it's not just goes with, we have little girls and men have little boys as well. But here we are talking about you and me, that this part of us, the little girl within us, there is no place other than in romantic relationships that it shows up the most. Your little girl, my little girl, when they are in that intimate relationship where two people have it shows up in dating too a lot as well, but more than ever in when you are in a relationship with someone that is supposed to go forever and ever, that little girl is going to be triggered left, right, and center. And the reason for that is nothing but because this is a container for you to heal her, to give her everything that she actually never felt like she got when she was a little girl. But what we tend to do is that instead of using our beautiful relationships to heal our little girl, is that we operate from a little girl. And when that starts to happen, when we are operating in our adult relationships with our 6-year old, 5-year old, that they didn't get attention, and now they are either throwing a tantrum, or they're completely hiding and they're withdrawing, and because they're so afraid of abandonment, they're begging and they are trying to make him see her by doing this and doing that for him, then we are operating from little girls. And my students know that this, I always say this, that when little girls are in adult relationships, it's going to be a shit show, because they're not meant to. Little girls are not meant to be in adult relationships. So a lot of my work is very focused on healing the inner child, healing the wounded feminine, because although we really like to make it the other person's fault, we like to say that it's him. He is not giving me enough attention. He's not calling me enough in the dating phase, or he's not romantic enough, or he doesn't, make a big deal out of my birthday anymore. He used to. He's not helping around the house as much as I want him to. We want to make it all about him and all his fault. And we can if we want to, but then we get to be right, not happy. And that's the truth of it. And a lot of people, when they come to me, they want to spend majority of the time explaining to me why he's a jerk, why he is lazy, why he's too much of a this and too much of a that. And if we spend a lot of time making him wrong, and talking about all the ways that we are looking down on him, then you tell me, what good is that going to do? You get to be right, and we can be like, oh, no, oh my God, what an idiot. We can bash him, we can say all these awful things about him, but at the end of the day, who's winning? Are you winning, or you get to be right? Are you having the relationship of your dreams? Or you want me to give you a magic pill that you're going to give him and make him be in love with you? We can't do any of that, my loves. We cannot do any of that. The only thing that we can do is to focus on you. To first and foremost realize that we are equal partners. We in a relationship, both people in the relationship have co-created that dynamic. I like to look at a relationship as a dance. We are always dancing with our partner, the feminine and the masculine. In my world, majority of women that come to me are the ones that are happiest in their feminine. So we call them the feminine energy, meaning that in their feminine, they love to receive, they love to be pampered, they love to be given to, they love to for them things to be planned. Even though there are kick-ass women that are able to do anything and everything for themselves, but they enjoy that dynamic of being in a relationship where they are romanced. And then we want to be mindful of that. This is the dynamic that I want. So right, so you're in the feminine energy and he's in the masculine, and you're doing a dance. And if a dynamic has been going on for a while in a relationship, that is your relationship dance. That's the way that you are doing the footwork and the turning around, and that's why it looks like the way that it does. But if you stop dancing the way that you used to, I'm meaning that you're not showing up in your relationship the way that you used to, you're not going about your relationship trying to wait around for him to change the dance, but you're like, no, this is not the dance that I want to do anymore. Guess what's going to happen? If the dance is going to continue, if you stay steady in what we're talking about, he's gonna have to learn the new steps with you. And it won't be immediate. Sometimes there are things that he immediately starts to shift and change really fast. But in order for anyone to learn a new dance, we got to give them grace. We got to give them time. But it doesn't mean that the minute that you dance differently and they haven't caught up with it yet, they haven't learned it yet, it means that it's not working. It means that it's what you're doing and then going back to the old dance. Does that make sense? Welcome, my loves, for those of you who are joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending your day with me. Let me know. Keep the chat interactive. I love talking to you. I love being in conversation with you. And one of the ways that I enjoy mostly to work with, to create my content is to curate it to exactly the kind of woman that is there, and we can talk about these conversations. So this is why I say that we're going to activate your goddess energy. We are going to work on the things that we can to work on you, because when you change the dance, it has to work. If he's decided to be in a committed relationship with you, if it's decided that you're the one that he wants to give him his most precious thing in life, which is his commitment, which is to spend the rest of his life with you, then it means that he is in it with you. And he wants things to be better, even though he might not be actively working on it, because the consciousness of men when it comes to relationships, at least at this point of time, is not as, they're not in terms of healing a relationship as conscious as most women are, or as proactive as women are, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to. So yes, expanding of the dance. I love that. I love that. So what we're doing today is literally that. We are changing the dance. We're changing a dance from recognizing first and foremost, in what ways have I been showing up in my relationship as the goddess in the relationship, and with what in what ways have I been shown up as my wounded feminine slash little girl? Because if a little girl is dancing, a little girl dancing is usually very different than an adult woman dancing, right? And this shows up in the behavior, in the way is um, that is basically the conversations go, that the way that she listens, and all that good stuff. So the number one thing that I want you to pay attention to within your goddess energy is that how much within your relationship have you, when you're viewing your partner, when you're viewing how he is showing up in your life, that where you are right now, you have created a certain judgment and persona about him, that you have categorized him as a man that is perhaps not romantic enough, he is too judgmental, he is non-attentive, he is not romantic. Did I say that before? I hear that a lot. He's too lazy, he's not dependable, he doesn't help out around the house. You have this perceived notion about who he is. And when we decide when someone is, this is who they are, we start to, if we are unconscious, we start to adjust our behavior based on who we think they are. And we also, especially if we look at them as incompetent, and that's the case. So if you think that your man is incompetent, if you think that your man is not able to be relied on and is not going to do what he said he was going to do, the way that you might start adjusting your behavior is to take on the reins, to start treating him in that relationship as someone that is an idiot, that is not able to do what he said he was going to do. He needs fixing. He's like a little boy. So you need to be the mother in that relationship and start taking charge and being in that alpha. I need to do this. This is my responsibility. And you show up in the relationship as the fix-it mother. Now, this persona, what happens is that, how is this the little girl? Let me tell you how it's the little girl. So there is a little girl in you that feels that that person, this man in my life, is incapable of taking care of me. He's incapable of measuring up to what I need in a man. And that part of us that is scared, but because now we are in this big woman body, we're not in the little girl body, we're in the big woman body, we go into, well, I guess if I can't rely on him, then I better show up and do it all myself. So your little girl activates that alpha woman, the woman that is not, and I'm not saying that taking care of yourself is the right thing. Of course, it's the best thing that you can ever do. But I want you to put things in the context of being in a relationship, that you're not in danger, that you're not actually, in a situation that you are, even though your little girl inside might be feeling unsafe, even though your little girl inside is like, I need him to be taking care of me, and he's not doing it at the time that I want him to, at the timeline that I want him to, then you have this little girl activating this energy in you. This big woman now is going to come and save the day and either tell him what to do, what he needs to do with his boss, with his mom, with his friends. This is how he should be spending his money. This is how he should be talking to his boss. This is how he should be doing. And that is definitely not the type of energy that a man finds in a goddess. Now, how does a goddess view his man, her man? How does a goddess actually, when she has decided to marry a man, she remembers why she married him to begin with. She remembers that she decided to marry him because she believed in his capabilities. She believed that he's a competent man, that he is a protector. As a king, I love that, yes. She looks at him as a capable man, as a man that does not need to be micromanaged, does not need to be fixed, does not need to be coached, does not need to be told, give me that, I'll do that. You're doing it wrong. Don't talk like that. Don't sit like that. Don't eat like that. God, that really feels like we're talking to a little boy when women like that. That makes me so uncomfortable when a woman gets on really treating a grown man like a little child and then talking about him like he's a little child. Well, of course, if you're going to do the dance in such a way that he's incompetent, that he doesn't know how to do anything, you're either going to get two things: a man that is going to headbutt you and is so frustrated with you and rolls his eyes at you and feels like he just want to withdraws from you, doesn't feel good to be around you, or he's fighting you. It says, don't talk to me like that. You're either fighting with him or you're getting a man that is completely distancing himself from you because you feel like a threat to him. You feel like this mommy that he always tried to get away from when he was a little boy and he was being told that he's not good enough and he's not doing things right enough. Little boys, with majority, not all, they've always been told, do better, you can do it better, oh, give me that, oh, you're not doing it right. So they're so, the feeling that they get in that incompetence that they feel, if they keep on getting it in that relationship that they have with their wife, with a woman that is supposed to see him as her hero, as somebody that is capable and able to slay the dragons for her. Now she's talking to him like a little idiot. Of course he's not going to want to tear your clothes off. Of course he's not going to buy you roses. Of course he doesn't want to do more for you because he, in the back of his mind, he feels like she doesn't respect me. And respect is a huge core need for any man. When men are asked what do they want the most in a relationship, it's respect. Respect and appreciation, but respect. If you don't respect a man, and if you look at him as incapable, as someone with a certain level of like the persona that you have given him, and you keep on treating him that way, there's no question that he's going to try to pull away from you. There is no question that he doesn't want to be around you. That shows up in your energy as criticism, as do it this way, mothering, coaching, bad mouthing, belittling him. When he wants to do something, you tell him, no, that's not the time to do it. You're not having actual conversations or making decisions together, but it's coming off as you being the boss of him and him being your servant, your little boy that is just supposed to do as you said. So that is the number one thing that you need to be working on. And the question for you is that, who do you need to see him as? How have you been seeing him up until now? And who do you need to be seeing him as? What are the qualities that you know he has, but it's been suppressed because the dance has transformed to the way that he is little boy dragging his feet and you're dragging him along with you? No, did you brush your teeth? Did you do your homework? Show me. No, don't talk to that person like that. So you want to stop that. When you start to look at him as a king, as a capable man, as a competent man, the way that we start to look at him changes. The way that we show him respect changes. I don't need to teach you how to respect a man. If you look at him as a respectable man, you know exactly what you need to do to show him respect. to look at him as, when you look at him as a competent man, as somebody that is capable and is able, then your whole, the way that you approach things changes completely. Are you with me? Are you getting this? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what in number one was. Put it in the chat so other people who are joining can get that. Now, number two, I kind of gave it away in the first point, was, which was all about respect. The second part is all about when the little girl shows up feeling like what she's getting is not enough in a relationship. She's not getting enough attention. She's not getting enough dot dot dot. Give me some of the stuff that you feel like you might not have not been getting. She's not, other people's husbands are buying them diamond rings and he's not. He's not romantic enough. He is not giving me vacations that I really want. He says no to them. When I want to do something, his automatic answer most of the time is no. He's not giving me enough. And when a little girl feels like that she's not being given enough of what she wants, and that used to be me. I used to have this happening a lot, and I know that there's a lot of women that are attracted to my work that feel the same way, that they make it so that I must not be doing enough. He must not be thinking that I'm good enough. So what I would do was to start to overperform in a relationship. Because I used to get, whenever I got really, really good, did good things, got good grades, I would get praises. I would get, and that to me felt like love. When I was told, I got validated, but I was told that I was doing such a great job, then, okay, then I will do more. I will show you what a great, great girl I am. Now I'm going to show you, hubby, what a great wife I am. So I would start giving and overgiving, performing and overperforming in order to get the things that I thought I wasn't getting enough. So the way that women, and this is the way that the little girl dancer starts to show up, that she starts to, in her big body woman, the persona now as a little girl, starts to either try to do everything right and say all the right things, and she wants to, fix it by the way that who she is in that relationship in terms of how she's giving and showing up, and in a very performative way, in a way that I'm doing that energy that it screams that I want more. And in order for me to get more, I need to impress you. I need to show you that I'm worthy of it. And in that energetic bubble of that relationship, in that energy dance, the relationship dance, when somebody, a lot of you know this already, starts to lean in so much, what tends to happen when you lean in a dance, what happens to your partner? They don't come head to head. They lean back. They go, whoa. So that would make a dance harmonious. If the two heads are butting, then that's not going to look really, really good. So in that case, when you are, if you resonate with this, let me know in the chat that if you have been doing a lot in a relationship in hopes that he's going to pay attention to you, that what you are doing, what you're giving in a relationship has a hidden agenda behind it. That I'm doing this because I really want him to acknowledge me. I really want him to think that he thinks I'm good enough now. I really want him ... Then you know that this is the energy of the little girl showing up trying to get approval, and that is not attractive. Not one bit. Now, there might be some of you that you might do the exact opposite. That when you're not getting enough of what you want, you either start to, again, voice it and let him know that what he's doing is not enough, what he's giving is not enough, you have your arms crossed, and you're gonna let him know that finally, like, you know, about time that you did something. When he's doing something, you're not allowing yourself to be excited about it. You have that this is not enough, this is too late energy. So emotionally distant, close-hearted, it hurts too much because now once in a blue moon you did this. Now if if I show you I'm all that happy, you might think that now that was enough for her, then I'm not going to do it again. So you have that way of the little girl showing up with being a little diva around it, for it to be saying no, it's not enough. And that again, what that does to a man is that whatever I do is not enough for her anyways, so why would I even bother? If what I'm doing is not enough, why would I even bother? This is, we can go into the realm of the universal law. What we appreciate appreciates. What we take for granted is going to be taken away from us. So if your little girl shows up as this is not enough, what you're doing, what you're giving, it's too little, this restaurant wasn't good enough, this Valentine's gift wasn't good enough, this wasn't enough, that wasn't enough, and you have this sulky energy around you, you have this heavy energy around you, and he feels like he keeps losing with you, then there you have it. That's not going to be motivating. That does not motivate us. A lot of this we forget that the way that we think and the way men think are quite different. You and I may have learned in the past that when someone tells us that something that we did wasn't good enough, that because we want to be loved and accepted, we're going to now go out of our way to do it in such a way that now you accept me. We overperform sometimes, some of us, when we are criticized, but men don't work that way. When men get criticized, when they're told that what they're doing is not enough, then they actually shut down. They go more and more into their shell, and they withdraw because it's too painful to be such a failure in a relationship. So they go into avoidance. That's a tendency that it's very common in men. Avoiding something that is painful, they do it by distancing themselves and withdrawing. Is that making sense? You take a sip of water. Let me know how you're finding these. Do they resonate? Now, how does a goddess behave when she receives? Oh, I hear you. Thank you for sharing. When a goddess receives, she has this way of, because this is who she is, she looks at everything in life as a gift. She is, whether it is money, whether it is the single smallest thing that is of a beauty, the goddess is present in the moment, and she takes in everything that is in front of her. It doesn't mean that she settles and she's just going to be satisfied and not desire more. But we kind of confuse with the fact that if we desire more of something, it means that we have to be underappreciative of what already is. That in order for me to receive more, I have to show dissatisfaction, and I have to show that this wasn't good enough. So my standards are higher, then do better. That's a really like boss energy. Like a boss that is a hard ass, and his expectations, or like a teacher. It's not the woman goddess energy. She really gets to appreciate everything in the moment, and as she expands her heart more, she receives more of it. That's also the universal law, that you get to walk with your desires, but it doesn't mean that you have to take what is in front of you for granted. If you want more of something, you have to appreciate what is. If you've been around me long enough, you know this, that you can't hate the current situation enough to change it. You have to find what is good in it so that life would give you more that resonate with the feeling and the emotions that you're sending out. If you're sending out this is not enough, what you're going to get is not enough. Well, if you keep sending out messages out there to the universe that I'm never satisfied, you're going to have people, husbands, circumstances that will keep on reinforcing what you're already feeling. So the goddess is gets to be amazed by everything. And that is such a gift. And it cannot be something that you fake. This has to be something that you hardwire within yourself, that I want to be in love with my life. I'm not doing this for him. I'm not doing it as a manipulative tactic to appreciate him or more of what he's doing so he would do more. I genuinely want to live my life in a way that I'm constantly feeling in awe and appreciation. I constantly want to feel that way, because how I feel on the inside is for me to feel. I'm the one that is feeling it. So, doesn't it feel good to feel that appreciation no matter what? That whether he is giving you, when he goes to the grocery store and he picks up the kind of apple that you like, or when he is, filling up the tank of your car, to really remember that these are all the gifts that you're receiving from the divine that is coming through him, and you get to appreciate it. And my God, when that energy is authentic, that energy is real, more of that. I don't want to feel this, because when she is in awe, when she's lit up, when she feels good, it feels really, really good. And that's the truth about men. That's what they love. They love to make us happy. Yes, I would love to appreciate everything in life. Yes. But why wouldn't we? We've been given this one life. Don't know how many times we're going to come back. Right now is all that we know that there is for us right now in this moment. So do I want to be miserable in it and count all the things that I don't have and what he's not doing? Or within myself, I want to let myself to feel so in awe of life, of all that I'm being given to, and be an invitation for more. It's the biggest energy shift that you can do in a relationship when you start to receive from this space of awe and appreciation. So, I'm going to take a moment to talk to you about the offer that I have, that is a very exclusive offer. A lot of women keep asking me for programs when it comes to women in relationships, and that is coming. But before doing that, what I would love to do, what I have created, is a virtual 1 day intensive. And what that means is that this is a small group of women that I'm going to be working with directly. That it's not that I'm going to get on a video call and just teach you a bunch of things and you take notes, but actually, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to create the actual, all the content based on your specific needs, your specific what you're going through. So, how I'm going to be doing this, that when you sign up, next week, you're going to receive a booklet from me that is very comprehensive. and I'm gonna be asking you some questions that you're gonna fill out, and you're gonna send it to me. It's all gonna be private. That all that you're gonna give me is it's only coming to me, and I'm going to be reading it. And but by asking you those questions, the content that I'm going to be creating for that one day is based exactly on your particular situation. So I'm addressing it. It is literally getting coached by me, and you're also going to be have the time in that one day virtual to be coached by me. So you also get to spend some one-on-one in group that setting with me, that I can be answering your questions directly. So this is going to be a very small number of women, because I am going to be going through all these intensive, comprehensive booklets, and so it's important that I stay streamlined. I'm going to give a lot of my energy to it, and I want to be able to have enough time to serve and help every single one of you. So that's why I'm really excited about this, because it's not like I said, it's a master class. This is very, very hands-on. This is something that I've done a lot with my single women who wanted to get into the relationship of their dreams, and basically almost every woman that has taken those are now in their forever relationships. And I have done a lot of one-on-ones or two-on-ones when it comes to that. But now we are ready to take this into a little bigger, not a big group, but still not just a couple of people, that you're going to learn plenty. You're going to learn plenty. You're going to obviously get your own needs met through this. I'm going to leave the link here for you to check it out. But you're going to learn, you're going to get what you need. And also what's going to happen is that you're going to learn so much. And if you notice right now, if you're in the live stream with me, if you click that link, you're getting 35% off. 35% off for a pre-launch. Here's the kicker. The coupon is only available for the first 5 women. Why am I doing this for the first 5 women? Because like I said, I'm going to be spending a lot of my time and energy. For those of you who've been around me, I give it my all. So it's really important to me that I charge accordingly. But I wanted to make it possible that if there is anybody that money may not be the most accessible right now for the full price, that they could take advantage. So if you click, and if the coupon is still activated, awesome. That means that there is still a spot at the coupon available for you. But if it is not, then there's going to be the regular price. However, if the link doesn't work anymore, that means we are sold out. And I anticipate for it to be sold out, because there's a lot of incredible women that write to me all the time. They're waiting for an opportunity like this. And, when it comes to one-on-one, it's quite an investment. And because they don't want to, they're not at the state that they can make that investment, then they can take full advantage on this heavily, heavily discounted already. A day intensive with me is right now in 2023, it is 7K. So this is a fraction of what would that be. So I hope that if this feels right to you, if it feels good to you, that you go for it. If it feels called out to you, and if you are one of the first 5 women, congratulations. If not, you're still getting a steal. I promise you. And if you have any questions around it, please message me, and my team will get back to you. And just remember that this one day, it's going to happen on June 3rd. On June 3rd, it's a Saturday. I made sure that it is a day that for a lot of my corporate women can actually attend it. So it's not during the day, during the weekday. And we're going to go from around 10 a.m. to probably until 6 p.m., if not longer. They don't end up to be shorter. So it's going to be a full day. We're going to obviously take breaks. We're going to make sure that you're not overwhelmed, but you're gonna have the recordings for the rest of your life, lifetime access to the recording, so you can go back to them. And it is not going to be sold afterward. This is a private group intensive, so nobody else is ever going to get to see it other than the women that are in this group. Okay, if you have any questions around it, please do let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. I'll probably be doing more emails around it as well, just so that you are, to answer more questions because I always get more questions. Okay, my loves. Now let's keep going. Let's keep moving forward and let me know how you feel about lasting love virtual intensive. Okay. Now, there is the other aspect of when it comes into a relationship when a woman doesn't feel satisfied. That in when it came to overperformance and when it came to over um, basically when she feels like she's not getting enough, the little girl starts to overgive from a place of hoping to get something in return, whether it's the validation to get, or it's a tit for tat, or it is for, if I give something, then he's going to deem me as somebody that is worthy and he's going to give me more. We talked about that. But I want you to remember that the goddess does give. The goddess energy gives, but she gives from her overflow. She gives from her overflow, meaning that she has zero hidden agenda behind it. She does not have this strategy of, if I give to him, if I do this, if I give him more of whatever it is. You all know in what ways you give in order to get something in return. You could even be giving over complimenting a guy. You could be over giving in terms of really making sure that his whatever his is on his favorites in the groceries that you're make sure that you got it for him. You could be over giving in terms of whenever it comes to doing something, it's always about what he likes to do, what he wants to do, while all in the same time you feel kind of resentful. You feel bad that you're doing it. You feel like a martyr on the inside because you really don't want to be watching football. You really don't want to be doing hardcore and activity when you're on your cycle, but you're doing it because you're afraid that if you are not going to be doing what he wants, you're not going to get what you want. But what tends to happen again is that the dance is set. The dance is that he's getting, getting. You're on empty. You're exhausted. You're tired. He's left with your resentful energy. He's left with your lack energy, not getting anything enough energy, and your energy never lies. We cannot fake energy. You can fake your words. You can pretend with the nicest smile. You can pretend all you want. But what you cannot pretend is your energy. That you can't do. So what needs to happen is that you stop yourself from giving to get, and you only give when it's authentically that you expect nothing in return when you give it, that you really want to give it. That giving is so well received by men. That giving feels life-giving to them. That giving, it doesn't feel like it's something that they need to return the favor, but they want to do more for that for you. But if the agenda behind it is of such that it is not, it is with a strategy and it is from getting giving to get, then no, it doesn't work. Now, if your little girl gets activated in such a way that you have a really hard time speaking your truth and being able to listen to his point of view, then you also don't have your goddess in play, you have your wounded feminine in play. Perhaps you felt unheard when you were a child, when you were little, your voice didn't matter, what you had to say didn't matter. When it was always your older siblings that they got their way and you didn't. Or You may have felt unsafe to speak your truth. You got into trouble if you spoke your truth. If you said something, you said no to something. Or you may have been overlooked, or you felt overlooked. So the way that the little girl then shows up in a relationship is one or most of these ways. When she feels unsafe to speak the truth because she's afraid love is going to be withdrawn from her or she's not going to be loved, a lot of times she goes into silence. She says nothing. She never expresses a desire. She never says no to something that she doesn't want to do. She is super agreeable. She is so out of touch and out of tune with what she really wants. And she really isn't capable of speaking her truth because she's just not in it's just foreign to her. Now in other cases, you might have the other, like a pendulum swing, that you can't listen but you just want to talk. You are, because this need of being heard is bubbling inside of you. You were not heard before, and you're so afraid that you might not be heard now that you babble. You keep talking. You keep interrupting. You keep on raising your voice. You keep repeating yourself. You keep over explaining something. You're afraid to get into trouble. Perhaps that's another thing, that you over explain. That's a dynamic that there is no space for conscious conversations for two people who get to express what they want and their need. It's not the case, but it is one of anxiety, one of, it's just, and that that creates for a man is so much dismissal. Also, it feels really like there is no heart connection. There is no depth in that conversation. She's either telling me exactly what I want to hear. He might not think that, but in a gut level, in that instinct, in that feeling, he feels that, or that she doesn't listen. She doesn't get me. She doesn't hear me, and they tune out. A lot of women complain about the fact that their men don't listen, but it's 99% of the time because she keeps talking. She keeps on repeating herself. She uses words that are dismissive or blaming or judgmental or victimy, or it's not enough. That because now we know that he wants to avoid feeling bad, he wants to avoid feeling like he's a piece of you know what, that he has to tune out. And if he doesn't feel like the woman that is in front of me is interested in actually what I have to say, but she's just waiting to get a pause to turn around and say her point of view, then there is no connection for him. He doesn't feel like he is with his woman. He feels like he is having a conversation with one of the boys that they just want to be either right, or they really don't care about his point of view. All they care about is what they want to say themselves, and that does not feel romantic, and that doesn't spark romance. That doesn't make him want to speak to you the level that you want him to. He keeps at surface level, or he withdraws, or when you speak, you get into fights. So the goddess, first and foremost, she does speak her truth, but she speaks her truth with love. She speaks her truth with self-regard and regard for the other person. So there's no blame or shame in that conversation. There is no criticism in that conversation. It's a lot of, I feel this way. This would feel better to me. I would love if we could do more of that. When that happened, that didn't feel good. If you haven't already, get my Magnetic Scripts 101. We talk all about everything conversation. and how to speak your truth in a way with a man that really gets you. The link is in the description. But it's really important. The energetics of it is really important. So for you to see where you're coming from, where are you in that spectrum? Are you speaking just for the sake of speaking and repeat yourself and you get louder, and when he says something you don't hear it and then you say things in return? Or are you so afraid of rejection, feeling abandoned, feeling like, if I say the wrong thing he's going to get mad at me, or he's going to think I'm stupid, or he's going to think this, or he's going to think that you censor yourself, and he really feels like, honestly, what's the point of talking to her? Like, it's just a monologue. It feels like whatever, it feels like I'm talking to myself, and she's just there nodding her head and doing nothing in return. So you want to find yourself where you are in the pendulum and really work on active listening, because the goddess actively listens, and working on speaking your truth with love. Okay, how are we doing here? Let me know in the chat what you're learning. I also don't like this to be a monologue. I would love for this to be a conversation for us. So right now, I want you to take a look at where you are in your relationship and how you can take personal responsibility based on the things that you've learned on this call with me, based on the things that you now know, that there is some room for improvement when it comes. Where have you been showing up as your goddess? And where have you been showing up as your little girl in the relationship? And what I love doing, and what I love helping my clients with, is that wherever you're showing up as your little girl, and do not get me wrong, like I said before, we all have our little girls. There is not a single woman that I have worked with that one way or the other, she did not have her little girl show up in her romantic relationships, because they're supposed to show up in a way that you get to heal them, not in a way that they get to run you. You get triggered. I get triggered all the time. My little girl gets triggered all the time. But there's a difference between a woman that she can catch when her little girl is triggered and take personal responsibility for that trigger and soothe her and be with her so that she can calm down, and for her goddess show up, and compared to when it comes to the little girl running the show, the little girl taking the reins, getting in that driver's seat and start driving. What's going to happen if a little girl drives a car? If a little girl drives a car, not good things are going to happen. And yet we give the relationship vehicle, our relationship vehicle, to our little girl. And of course, she's going to crash it. And speak with feelings. I want to improve the appreciation. I love that. I love that. We all can work on that. We can all, if we are honest with ourselves, how much we take for granted, not just from our men, but from everything and anything that life has to give offer. Like, how many of us wake up today, when we open our eyes, felt the deep appreciation for another day? Or did we just drag ourselves out of the bed, hit the snooze button? Oh, I have to get up. Oh, I don't want to get up. Looking at your day as a dread as opposed to the blessing that it is. And the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. The way that we look at our lives, the way that what life gives us, if we look at it that it's not enough, then of course we're going to project that right back to our romantic partners and do the same thing. Sometimes we treat other people, other men, way better than we treat our partners. We smile more when we talk to a stranger than we do with our partners. And these are the things that I really want to talk about in lasting love. How is your energy when he's around you? When he comes back from work, where he there was a lot of heavy head discussions, and he had to perform, and he had to talk to his, the coworker that is always slacking, or the boss that is always ordering around and he never appreciates. Is he coming back home to the same energy of it's not enough, you're not doing, it's not good enough, so it's everywhere he goes, it's a battlefield? Or does he look forward to coming home to you? Does he feel like all that heaviness, I can I can leave it where it is, because I know my home with my goddess feels safe. There is no judgment here. I do not need to be impressive. I do not have to argue why what I have to offer is good enough. What is it like for him to be around you? Are you waiting for him to change until you change your energy around him? Are you waiting for him to be the leader in the relationship when, in all honesty, women are the leaders of the relationship? Not leaders in such a way that I'm the alpha and I'm the decision, I'll do everything and anything, but the emotional leader. To the depth that you go in a relationship with your feelings, he will follow you. And the more he feels with you, the more he wants to do for you. The more he feels safe with you, the more when he can actually be vulnerable with you and he doesn't feel like you're going to be judgmental and you're going to put him in his place or tell him he needs to fix that and work on that, but he feels like he can be himself with you and can't, is not afraid that you're going to judge him or look at him as incompetent, the more he's going to want to open up to you. But a lot of women that come to me, they're all waiting for him to do better in order for her to open her heart, for her to be in her own joy, for her to bring the goddess in. Until you are within your wounded masculine, what they think is happening, I'm going to show up as my wounded feminine, as my little girl. But what nonsense is that? Why do we give our power away like that? I will just be a reaction to you. I will just react to you. Whatever you or whoever, whatever mood you're in, I'm going to just be like that back to you. If you're in a bad mood, I'm going to, frown, and I'm going to pout, and I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to stonewall you and not talk to you. Classic little girl attitude. Oh, you're mad at me? I'm mad at you. Oh, you're not going to give me attention? I won't give attention to you. Well, good job. You're both miserable. What an incredible home to be in. No. As a part of the empowerment work that we do on ourselves, is that I do not react to other people. I hold the energy. I hold the standards within myself. If he is in a mood, if he is not all bubbly, I don't have to go down with him. I do not need to fix him. I do not need to do anything for him. But I get to remind myself that he's a human being and he's having a bad moment. He's having a bad moment. He had a hard day. Can I let him be? Can I ask? I notice that you're not feeling great or you're not in a good mood. If you need anything or if you need to take your mind off anything, I'm right here for you. And then go watch your favorite TV show. Go work on your business. Go for a walk. Put on the headphones and music and start dancing. Change your environment. If you are not at the state of a consciousness that if you're in front of someone that you're going to absorb all their energy and just react to their energy, then it is your job to take care of it and change your environment. But you will get through the work that you're going to do on yourself. You will learn that to not be just a sponge and absorb everyone's energy around you. You become the big energy that you start to exude your energy, and that's infectious. That is so infectious to a man. When he feels like he's not responsible for your mood, Oh, I'm in a bad mood. I had a horrible day. I have to come home, and now she's gonna be upset at me because I'm not in a good mood. What? Okay, I just better go to my computer room and close the door because this is just too much. I'm disappointing everybody. This is too much. But if that's not the case, then you are anchored in your own power and feelings and emotions. When you're anchored in, then that energy feels very elevating for him as well. And he snaps out of it a lot quicker. I've seen this all the time in my own relationship. I don't try to fix him. I don't try to make him talk about something, but I show him I'm here with a smile. I love you. Mwah. Do you want some tea? No? Okay. Well, I'm going to be in my other room doing some yoga. If you need anything, I'm right there for you, babe. That's it. No judgment. I'm here for you. You don't need to do anything. Be you, be with you. And then he bounces back so much quicker. Back in the day when I was like, how dare you? I was alone all day long at home, and now you come and instead of attending to my needs, you are, not entertaining enough to me. It could linger for days because that's the truth. Like it or not, ladies, this is a truth. If you show to a man that you are chronically disappointed in him, he's going to want to distance himself from you because it doesn't feel good to be around you. It will not inspire him to now put on a smile and come home and try to please you. That's it. Okay, my loves. I think this was a long and juicy conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to know what your takeaways were. If you have joined me for Lasting Love One Day Virtual Intensive, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for what that was going to bring. This is a intensive for women in relationships. So there will be programs for women in relationships for self-study and all of that, even if you're single and if you want to learn. That's awesome. You can join those. But this one particularly, I am mainly focused with women who are already in a committed relationship. In my opinion, it's best that you're either engaged or you are married, because if you're in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, then it's a different dynamic. It's more going to be from a perspective of how can I make him commit to me. But if you are in a boyfriend girlfriend and that's where you want to be and you don't want more, that's where it is, that's fine, you can join Lasting Love. But if you are somebody that you are in a relationship with a man that you want things to be greater, things may be good already, but you can take it to the next level of consciousness and juiciness and closeness, come on and join us. If you're a woman that things aren't so great right now, then you're most welcome to also join. It's going to be a lot of things. Like I said, it's going to be really curated to your needs. It's not just these are the things that every woman should do. I really wanted to make it as personal as possible, as well as make it so that you get to have access to me and be coached by me, because sometimes it's really difficult to know a bunch of things, but when we can translate it to our own situation, then we kind of get confused by it. So that's why I'm there for you. You're so welcome. I'm so glad that this was helpful and great. I love you all so much. Remember, it's for the first 5 people. I have no idea how many people joined, but once the 5 people, the coupon is going to expire when they're taken. And I'll see you on the internet. Bye for now.